Hi. So this is a different kind of video that you're going to be used to. So, let's talk OC Massacre. And what I plan to do with this upcoming, well, not upcoming, like very soon, but it's still a work in progress. Right now, I don't exactly have the code ready or the actual gameplay ready because, well, I don't exactly have a decent enough computer to actually start coding and actually, making games in Roblox. Oh, that's gonna bring me to a point later. Anyways, so let's get this started. So, I'm gonna put these up in categories. So, category number 1, kill the killers. So, in this game, you can actually, fight back, which, well, you can fight back in most asymmetrical horror games anyways. But what I mean by that is, like, you can actually you fight back and win against the killer, or by, taking down all of their health. I've been in this discussion with, well, I've been playing asymmetrical horror games with a lot of my friends. But one in particular, and she knows who she is. I'm not going to say her name, but when she spoke her mind about it, she was not exactly the biggest fan, from what I gathered, from when she explained this to me. When a killer can just start swinging mindlessly at the survivors until, well, they swing to win. So that got me thinking about, how it works with Fleetway Supersonic, because she did bring that up, of how Fleetway Supersonic in Outcome Memories is the only killer to have a health bar. And she believes that was an actual good decision. So that, Fleetway players don't just have, well, most of the time, well, sometimes, games don't get to just swing wildly, because they gotta keep an eye on their health. Well, you know what I mean? So, what I'm thinking for this game, that every killer is gonna have a health bar. And depending on how strong a killer is or how weak a killer is, well, not weak, I'm trying to make this as balanced as possible. So, let me put it this way. A killer with high damage would have very low health. Well, not very low, but decently low. Like at least just above a survivor's health. Enough to at least take a few hits, but not too much that it'll take like almost the whole round to kill him, right? So that's what I'm thinking about this. It's about when killing the killers. So yeah, like a killer with high damage would have low health. A killer with low damage would have high health. Well, that sort of thing. Alright. Let's get to the next topic. Balancing. That was sort of explained in the first category, but I want to go more in depth about this. So, balancing, it's gonna be tricky for every single game. Every single game. Oh, side note, the gameplay that you're seeing in the background is mine from when I played 8 Outcome Memories on Nick the Spirit Gamer, her channel, over on Twitch. Selfless plug, but yeah, this is my channel too, so yeah, I can do that. Anyways, balancing, right? So obviously, I'm gonna try to make the killers balanced as possible, and not like, oh, this one is better than this one. Like I'm trying to make each killer have their strengths and weaknesses, basically. Like, yeah, this killer has really good damage, but they don't have the greatest amount of health. that sort of thing. This killer has the least amount of end lag and most health, but they don't do the greatest amount of damage. And like another one, and that would be also akin with their abilities. What each killer would have. I'm gonna go into that in a different video, not this one, but yeah, I'm sorry if I'm kind of speaking in a rush, because well, I got work I gotta do in like the next few minutes, so I'm gonna try to get this done as fast as possible. Anyways, let's start. Well, let's move on to Clash themes. What do I mean by Clash themes? Well, not Clash themes. Clash LMS is what I have it stated as on the thumbnail. Oh, Clash LMS. What do I mean by that? Well, if two characters come from basically the same continuity or franchise, I want them to have a Clash theme. So let me use my two OCs as an example. Nick and Nick Black. So how this would work is that if Nick is not by the exit in time, and Nick Black is at the exit, he can actually close it off, and then it would just isolate Nick Black and Nick, but it has to be those two respectively. Nick Black wouldn't be able to close it with anyone else and fight them. So yeah, the Clash LMS with Nick and Nick Black. Nick basically cannot afford to hold back anymore, or it's just them, and now this has not become a cat and mouse game. This has become a death match. That's between Nick Black and Nick. So yeah, you're gonna have, and not to mention, you're gonna have to manage your cooldown. And actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Up top. Both will get a normal attack ability in that situation. There won't be any stunning. There won't be any stunning when that event happens. There will be knockback when that event happens between Nick and Nick Black only. That's the only Clash LMS that I have in mind so far, because, well, it's the most I've thought about. Anyways, let's go to another one, to another topic of this discussion. Popular OCs. So, let me get this one out of the way. 2011X. Why is he not being in the game? Well, I feel as if 2011X has been in plenty of games already. Well, plenty of projects that's featuring the character 2011X, which I know is just Sonic.exe. So, I'm not adding him because of that reason. However, I would be open to adding in other popular OC. Which, like, let's use Nazo from Sonic. What was it again? Oh my gosh, I forgot actually. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, Nazo Unleashed. That's the thing. Anyways, what other, any other popular OC? Let me use my recent ones as examples. Darkiplier, or a popular OC associated with Markiplier, or Antisepticeye, associated with Jacksepticeye, obviously. Popular OCs like that. I would love for them to be in the game. However, when it actually gets made, I would have to ask for permission, because, well, obviously, I can't just yoink an OC and just plop them in there. This goes both ways for killers and survivors, such as Story Wolf's OC, Nikki, and Kibi's OC, Pebbles is OC, Ian's OC, and Arachno's OC. Those I would have to get permission for. Basically, every single OC that is up here that is not mine. And I would have to ask for permission for them to be in a game. So, next up, let's talk skins. Skins for the OCs in the game. So, how would the skins work? Well, I have an idea for every single person to have their own skin. Well, their own skin, the first one being their OC. And the first one with my OC, basically his normal white shirt, gray pants, dark gray pants, and yeah. Basically, that. In terms of skins, I would get inspiration from their media, as like how would I get Darkiplyer's suits, right? Like, would they just be different shades of gray or like that? I would like to bring in the colored version, which is just him, which is just Markiplier without the Darkiply effects from, the bloopers from him versus Antisepticeye. That sort of thing. Anyways, let's use another one for an example. Playables, aka Pebbles, was the VTuber, the Sonic VTuber, or the VTuber of many things that she does. In terms of her skins, it would be like her skins from when she played different franchises, such as Sonic or Mario. It would just be her with a cap, or her shadow design, or the edgy design that she had for when she played Shadow Generations, and as well as her quote-unquote sort of dark power, with her eyes being gray and her irises remaining the same. Yeah. And in terms of things for, in terms of skin for others, I would have to figure that one out later. Anyways, let's move on to another topic. Your OCs. How would this work? I am not sure just yet, but oh my god, I am so horrible at asymmetrical horror games, aren't I? Anyways, oh right, your OCs. What counts as an OC? How this is gonna work actually. Your OCs would basically be like a sort of thing that I'm gonna be figuring out at a later time, not as of the moment. Anyways, with that quickly kicked out of the way, what counts as an OC? Basically, I'm counting any character that is not associated with a sort of company or franchise, such as Sonic or Shadow or Mario, that sort of thing. So yeah, and Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger, yeah, like those popular franchises, I would not count as OCs for my game. And besides, that would just get into a whole lot of legal situations. So yeah, nothing completely official is what I'm having at. And oh my goodness, I am so bad at that. Can we not mention that he was on my ass for the whole time? Anyways, basically, getting away from that. Right. Let's see. Collabs. In terms of collaborations, I would like to be able to collab with certain teams that have OCs with their characters, such as Team Ari and Nightmare Universe with Exedior and Markion. Markion being from Mario the Music Box Art, and Exedior or being from Nightmare Universe Prime, or Dunkachi with his OC Lucian, that of the theme that I made for him, or tried to make for him on his birthday. I actually, did I make it on his birthday? I don't exactly remember. Anyways, right. So far, that's everything that I have. So in terms of oh, right. Let me talk about the themes that I've been making. What I mean by final chase themes. So, I know about how most asymmetrical horror games have the LMS themes. You know, the last man standing themes for when there's only one survivor left, and then that theme plays. I want this to be different for both sides. So, that's why I made final chase themes. Making themes for the killers and the survivors. I know that there's themes made for when you're in close proximity of the killers, and that theme would play when you are however close to the killer, like if you're a few feet away. Their theme would start slowly playing, and then when you're like really close to them, it really ramps up. But that's not what I mean by my chase themes. The final chase, which I want this to be like a setup sort of like, this is the last person standing. This is the last survivor. Or I have to get them. I have to take them out now. Or I may never get a chance. That sort of thing. Anyways. Yeah, that's how I kind of wanted to clash with the LMS thing. It was like, I go, oh my god, this dude is gonna kill me. Hey, I gotta, like, get out of here, like, now. Oh, or I gotta take this guy out, like, right now. That sort of thing. So I want those themes to kind of clash in that way. Hey, like, different perspectives from the killer and the survivor. So, I think that's it so far. Yeah, that's it so far, and I have plenty of different ideas that I want to have with this game that I'm making. Well, wanting to make. But so far, I only have a laptop that isn't powerful enough to, make the game just yet. And besides, with how Roblox is now, it's going to be very tricky to get my game out there. Anyways, but that's a discussion for another time, and with all that being said, thank you for listening in to what I have planned for OC Massacre so far, and I hope you stick around for the future of how OC Massacre is going to turn out. Anyways, without all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!